Well, 3 days, 3 record-breaking rallies. The Lal Street gave 2 thumbs up to the post-poll surveys, as most of them have given a clear mandate to the Modi-led NDA to grab the keys to 7 Racecourse Road. Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us on India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. With me, Ilan Datta. The rally continues on the Lal Street, and that is our top focus on the show tonight.
Mount 24K, Shireen, and Mount 7,000K all scaled. Wonder what's next now.
25,000. It seems to be the next logical step, and perhaps we'll get there sooner rather than later. So maybe even before or on the 16th of May. In fact, that's one of the Twitter questions that we're asking you this evening. So tweet right away. Your response is live on India Business Hour. Let's take that story forward. The equity markets, as we've been saying, saw yet another spectacular rally in trade today. The Nifty surging over 90 points, going past the 7100 mark, hitting its highest level in history. Look at that graph. From the word go, you saw the markets on fire. The Sensex breaching the 24,000 mark for the first time. Some gains that were trimmed in the last hour of trade ended below that level. Nevertheless, with gains of over 300 points, that was the story on the Sensex. Mid-caps managing to outperform the major indices, clocking gains of over 2%. Anuj joins us now to wrap up all the market action. Anuj, there is clearly no stopping the bulls.
Indeed. In fact, let's put it simply, the Lal Street has been modified over the last 2 or 3 days. And really, this kind of rally that we have seen is phenomenal. And this is just based on the exit poll numbers that we're talking about. What was interesting in today's trade was that while bulls continue to dominate, barring an hour or so when you had a bit of profit booking, mid-caps made a stunning comeback. For last 2 days, mid-caps were lacking action, and today you had big surge in the mid-caps, and infrastructure-related stocks did extremely well in trade. In fact, I'm going to make a departure today, and I'm going to start with the mid-caps in today's trade. And let's take a look at some of the big stunning moves in today's trade. NCC, Nagarjuna Construction, that is, was up 17%, Hindustan Construction 14%, IVRCL 14%, all of them on very high volumes. Let's take a look at some other stocks. GMR, GVK, JP Associates, all the infra stocks were up with massive volumes. In fact, even in the Nifty, the stock of the day today was BHEL, again related to infrastructure. That stock was up about 10%. That's an index stock that we are talking about. Apart from that, the NDA trade is again playing out. Infrastructure, you see Adani stocks doing well in trade today. Adani Port and SEZ, Adani Enterprises, Adani Power, all these stocks were up about 8 to 10% in today's trade. What was also interesting was, now coming back to the Nifty stock, was the kind of comeback we had for IT stocks today. For example, Infosys, Wipro, HCL Tech, that also was a pocket of strength in today's trade. And of course, we had some result reaction as well in today's trade. Stocks like Bank of Baroda and PNB had completely different reaction to completely different set of numbers, and Dr. Reddy's was down 4% as well. And just to wrap things up, heavyweights continue to support this market. Stocks like Reliance, L&T, and also ONGC up about 3 to 4% in today's trade. So as of now, no stopping the bulls, and of course the next stop is on Friday when we'll have the actual numbers as well.
Assuming that the results are anywhere close to what the exit polls have predicted, I mean, we have an average of 277 and a range of 238 to 340, which was yesterday's number. But I think if you look at if you look at the numbers coming close to 277, which means an absolute majority, and they may still take on 1 or 2 partners to ensure even more stable government, I think this market has significantly more upside than what we've seen so far.
The poll outcome is completely in the price. In fact, I'm a little worried as to, if we have what we saw in 2004, 2009, the polls didn't match up to the actual results or were way off at times also. If there are any negative surprises, there would be problems. Positive surprises, I don't think so, because, markets are factoring a NDA-led government with a clean, clear majority. So in my opinion, in the short term, maximum euphoria or another rally about 100 odd points, and that's we get stretched on the fundamentals because markets are tending to ignore the real fundamentals in the short term.
Well, whole host of market opinion bullish voices continue, and we're not done with the markets just yet. Nirmal Jain of India Infoline, another influential voice, joins us now. Nirmal, first up, the post-poll surveys have predicted a clear mandate for the NDA, but they've got a history of going wrong. So how severe could the downside be if the final outcome is disappointing on Friday? Which means if the final outcome doesn't play out as per the post-poll survey, what kind of correction should we brace ourselves for?
I think if the NDA tally is less than 230, then market will get a coup surprise and there will be a huge correction to my mind. But after that, it will depend on who forms the government with what allies and what kind of equations are formed. But yes, if exit polls go completely wrong the way they had gone wrong in 2004, and we see a bit of a stalemate or no clear majority to any government, then I think then markets will see a sharp correction.
Well, that's the worst case scenario. But Nirmal, from current levels, how much more upside do you see for the markets by the end of the year if everything goes as per plan, if Narendra Modi is indeed Prime Minister, the NDA gets a thumping majority as the polls suggest as of now? If this is the scenario, the best case scenario, what do you see as the year-end Sensex target?
I think if most of the things turn positive as we are expecting today, then the Sensex can touch 30,000 by year end. So which will again depend on a stable government and also good policy measures which are business and investment friendly. Because in Indian context, investment friendly policies are required to trigger employment as well as economic growth. And then by year end, corporate earnings will look significantly better for FY16. So I mean that is the one optimistic scenario that Sensex can touch 30,000 by year end.
Nirmal Jain, that is an optimistic picture that you're painting. I don't think I've heard anybody else talk about a Sensex year-end target of 30,000. Everyone's talking about 25,500, 27,000 even. 30,000 is the call there from India Infoline for the year-end if Narendra Modi is Prime Minister and the NDA has a decisive mandate. But Nirmal, we saw a huge rally in PSU stocks today. Is the euphoria as far as PSUs are concerned justified? I know a lot of people are playing on this business of Modi granting more autonomy to public sector companies as he has done in Gujarat. We've seen the Gujarat companies move up. What's the bet as far as PSUs are concerned?
I think Mr. Modi's track record of turning around PSUs in Gujarat is really commendable. In fact, in Gujarat, most of the PSUs turned around and did very well. So people are looking forward to that. Most of PSUs in India they have a good talent, a good business model and a good position in their sector. But somehow they are not done well or they are not done to their potential for certain gaps in autonomy, certain gaps in the way management structure is put in place. So I think what market is looking forward to, that a Gujarat kind of turnaround can happen in beaten down PSUs. And infrastructure also has suffered for lack of decisive policies. So there also you can see a good turnaround. So I think that is what market is looking forward to.
Hope is in the air clearly, Nirmal, and expectations are running high. But as far as what is deliverable, what is achievable, what should be the priority, what should be top of the agenda as far as the new government is concerned?
I think the top agenda should be to infuse a positive sentiment that this government will be decisive, will be clear, and will not allow any hindrances that come in investment, growth or business, because that is what this country needs. And so all the things that are stuck in stalemate, whether it's environment, whether it's coal, whether it's mining, whether it's power, whether it's infrastructure, so they should start removing those obstacles and make sure that they pave the way for investments. I think that should be the top agenda.
Well, that is the tall ask that the markets are hoping for, anticipating that we are going to see decision-making, bold decision-making, faster clearances, and that is what the street is betting on. Nirmal Jain, 30,000 year-end target for the Sensex. That's your point of view. Thanks very much for joining us here on India Business Hour. Elan, what are the other brokerages saying?